guys, we're going to call this meeting to order. If everybody stand for the pledge of allegiance. Tonight we have White Elementary School students to come up. We're going to let them lead us in the pledge of allegiance, okay? I'm going to let y'all start it, okay? So y'all start it, we'll kind of all join in, okay? The flag's in the back for everybody. Just two? Okay, it's just two, okay, cool. All right, y'all, okay, we'll kind of join in, y'all, okay? Go ahead. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good job, guys. Hey, hold on just a second here, guys. I got some certificates here for y'all. So it's Alicia Williams. She's not here. She's not here. Okay. All right, Wesley Fraley. All right, guys. These certificates says the appreciation of Wesley Fraley. Here's from the county. Why? I say we appreciate you. Okay. And Amy Purvis. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all coming up. Okay. All right. At this time, we will just kind of roll call, please.
Okay. Mayor Frazier?
Here.
Board Member Florence? Board Member Terry? Here. Board Member Fleming? Here. Board Member Kuhn?
Here.
Town Clerk here. Town Attorney?
Here. All right. Item number one, addition, deletion, changes, approval of agenda. I know we got a couple. None?
None.
Not
this one.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, let me, I'm going to this is a planning and zoning meeting, so you're right. Okay. All right, approval of minutes of August 19, 2024. Need a motion to approve.
No, we need approval of the agenda first.
Addition, deletion, changes, that's right. So I need approval of the agenda, I'm sorry.
Make a motion to approve the
agenda the way it is.
agenda.
Second.
Good, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, item number two, approval of minutes, August 19, 2024. Now we're on that. So, need a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from August 19, 2024.
Second.
Good. All in favor of approving the minutes of August 19, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. Item number three, public participation. Guys, this is not the regular meeting, town council meeting. This is the planning and zoning. So, anybody like to stand and speak?
I would.
Come up to the podium. So, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead and state your name so we can.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Christian Haas. I'm a business owner in town. I'm also a property owner in town. I wanted to come in today just to speak very briefly to you. I know it's been quite a few past couple of years that we've had to endure. I'll make this short and sweet. I wanted to voice my support for Mr. Frazier and re-electing him again this year, and how important I feel that that is as a young business owner and property owner here in this town. I've looked into the other candidate, I've watched his video, and I do not believe that we need a young 31-year-old inexperienced wild card who can't even state his political opinion in a time like this in the economy that we're dealing with. I think it's very important that we consider the big picture here and concerns to our town and its future. In the first 5 minutes of that gentleman's video, he speaks about how he's going to encourage people to move here. If you like your town small, if you like people to know who each other are, I highly encourage that you get back out and vote Mr. Frazier into office. We can't afford somebody who's going to get walked on or chewed up by the Lake City Commissioner. I hope that you'll take that to heart for what it is. Nobody asked me to be here, but as somebody who wants to see this town remain small and wants to raise a family here, it's very important that we get out and encourage people to vote. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ross. Appreciate it, sir. All right, anybody else public participation? At this time, we'll close public participation. We'll move to item number 4, new business. Number one, consideration of variance application 24-01.
This is a variance application made by Grace Pediatrics with the request to reduce the number of improved parking spaces from 13 as required in the land development code based on the size and the type of the business that they have, which is a medical office, to 4 spaces, and that the 4 spaces that are currently there be allowed as back-out spaces on the southwest Cullen Avenue as they are currently located and constructed. This variance is being requested because there is no other place for them to park on that property for that medical office, and the back-out spaces allow the 4 cars to be along the front. And they put in wheel stops and have put in a handicap space as well. Is it ideal? No. Back-out spaces are usually not as safe as diagonal parking spaces or parallel parking spaces because you have the ability to view your surroundings when you're pulling out, whereas back-out spaces do pose some risk. However, Cullen Street is not a high-use street here in the town of Fort White, and with it being a medical office, there is not a high traffic flow like there would be if it was a retail store type situation. And the 4 spaces are along the front of the building. And
If I'm not mistaken, they didn't park in there. Not Pediatrics place, but anybody that has rented that place or used it or lived there.
that
they've
is
been parking there
correct,
anyway.
for a long time,
Forever.
for a very long time, because there's nowhere else to park in front of there.
Right,
And when that property was rezoned commercial, way back when, that should have been taken into consideration,
Yeah.
but it was not. And so we can't penalize the existing ownership for owning a piece of commercial property that doesn't have the parking necessary in order to be able to allow them to park on the on-street parking. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out is that this town council and Mr. Lander and our planner are currently working on an on-street parking ordinance. And that is going to be coming up here shortly on the town council meeting for me to request permission from you for us to proceed with that. Okay? Because we've talked about addressing that issue in the past. So we need to open it for a public meeting.
Well, we need to, for that, yeah, do we need a motion for planning and zoning?
We need a public meeting.
What public? Oh, you need a public
We
meeting?
need a public meeting for it. You need to
Okay.
open it up. for
All right, at
public
this time, I'll go ahead and open up item number 4, item 4, number 1 for a public meeting. If anybody would like to touch on that, what Ms. Connie just talked about.
Ms. Connie, I'm sorry, could you repeat your reference? It was in an upcoming, is that?
Pardon me?
My understanding is that.
Ma'am, you need to come to the podium, okay? You can't, oh, no, I'm sorry. State your name.
Maureen Thomas. My understanding is that if this was changed to allow them to park in the easement, does that state a precedent moving forward? Is that? I think I missed short part of what you were saying in regards to those parking spaces and just how that would affect other businesses in the town that similarly have limited parking. We're saying this is because they've always done it, they've always parked there before, every business that has been there, it's limited parking, so
That's what
whatever
the
decision
ordinance,
that is made, does that not set a precedent moving forward in how other businesses are handled in regards to parking, in particular in easements? That was my question, and clarification.
You're looking at me for an answer.
yes.
No further questions.
I could answer that probably, because it does set a precedence, but the thing is that it's application by application, so, I mean.
They made an application, we're
Right.
considering their application.
Their application.
Correct.
We didn't say we were going to put up all the streets in Fort
We're
White.
considering an application made by a business in town of Fort White.
Okay.
And we will be dealing with it, the whole subject
That's
as a whole
Right,
on an ordinance
Right.
that we're going to be doing in the future.
exactly, right. So this is just go ahead and try to get them.
The main
they have nowhere to
thing-
park right now.
Yes,
so-
and the main thing is to do the variance, allowing them 4 parking spaces and not 13 as what's required by the land development code.
Right.
There's no way they need 13 parking
Well,
spaces.
there's no way they're going to get them around
No.
that small.
Well, and they don't need them.
Right.
It's a very small medical office.
Right.
It's not like it's, you know,
Where,
a huge
where
medical.
where's the office?
It's on the corner
I
of
know where it's at. Where are the office workers parking?
On the side,
On the,
Yeah.
about, up
Yeah.
in the,
Yeah.
same one to the left, doctor.
In the yard.
on the side.
Okay.
Yes, on the side.
Okay. So, anybody else? Okay, at this time, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the board. Anybody opposed?
I'm for it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all they got to park,
So
and
we just
a lot
need-
of that come up in this.
We just need a motion to consider recommending it to the board. Need a motion to.
What do they do if they do have more than 4 people show up?
They park on.
Park on her
Park on your
property.
property.
Okay.
Across the street.
There is something to
Ain't
do.
there on street parking out there on the 4702?
Yeah, on 27.
I mean, on 27.
They have a couple of spaces right there on
So they do have
27.
some
There's
extra
like
parking out
2.
there. so-
There's like 2 spaces right there beside their building.
Which, this is not a problem, but which gets a lot of subway traffic.
Yes.
That little strip right there.
So I just need a motion to approve, recommend it to the board. The town council.
I'll make a motion, we approve, recommend to the board of consideration of variance application 2401.
Second.
All in favor of recommending item 4, number 1, to the town council board, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Cool. All right, at this time, item number 5, which is adjournment, we'll adjourn the town council meeting and we will open, planning and zoning. So we'll close the planning and zoning and we'll open the town council meeting. And we already did the pledge of allegiance, they call order, the same.
I need a motion
Yeah,
to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, planning and zoning.
I'll second.
You got ahead of yourself tonight.
Yes.
Get out of here. All right, you got a second? So all in favor of adjournment, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, adjournment. All right, now we'll open the town council meeting. We'll just move to number 1. Everybody is still present. Item number 1, addition, deletion, change, approval of agenda. I know there's some changes on here.
Yes. I want to add number 7, which we just spoke about on street parking. And number 8, a complaint from Mr. Fussnecker, Fussnecker, regarding our recycling drop-off location.
I thought that was supposed to be funny when you said that.
No. Those 2 items.
All right, then we're taking off.
No.
Okay, so I just need approval of agenda with
I'll make a
change.
motion, we approve the agenda with the 2 items added.
Second.
All in favor of approving the agenda with the items changed, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. All right, approval of minutes from September 16, 2024. Need a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve, minutes from September 2024.
Second.
All in favor of approving minutes, September 16, 2024, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right. Item number 3 is public comment.
Those are for agenda items only.
Yes, these will be for agenda items only, so at this time I'll open for
We don't have any from,
So yeah, I didn't have none filled out,
No.
so we're good. All right, so we'll close public comment, we'll move to item number 4, new business. Number 1 is Powell and Jones.
this is Mr. Brad Howe, and he is going to go over the 2022-23 audit.
All right, so what you guys have in front of you is the 2022-23 audit report. If you would go to page 7, get started on that. So first of all, I want to thank Connie and the finance team for everything they did during the audit, getting us the things that we needed to get, and so that we could complete the audit. Number 2, that we audit based on generally accepted auditing standards and also governmental auditing standards. And the goal of an audit is to get a clean or unmodified opinion. Basically, that tells you that the information provided in the audit report is reliable for decision making. If you look on paragraph 2, it says that the financial statements are fairly presented, which means you did achieve the clean and unmodified opinion. If you go to page 10, this is the management discussion and analysis. Basically, it's a section of the audit report that provides context for the financial statements. It is based on information that's further along in the report, and so with that said, while I encourage you to read it another time, we will skip on to the next part, and that's on page 16. Government accounting standards require us to report governmental activities in 2 ways. One's more of a business-like, long-term profitability, which helps you to see things that way. That's going to be pages 16 and 17. The other way they require you to present is more of a budget-friendly, more the immediate resource management type of way to view things, and that's generally more useful for the town council. So we'll go there, and that's going to be page 18. Page 18, this is your general fund balance sheet, your governmental fund balance sheet, right? Balance sheet is what you own and what you owe, and then the net of those amounts is called your fund balance, all right? If you look down on the page, there's an unassigned fund balance, $510,000. Oftentimes, we like to run an analytic that says, if spending were to occur at the same rate in your general and governmental funds with no revenues, how long would it take before you run out of your unassigned fund balance? And that's 15 months. A lot of times we see about 4 months. So that's a long time, a relatively long time, right? A lot of that is due to your heavy investment in cash there. So if you go to the income statements on page 19, or the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance, it just shows that in your general fund, your governmental activities, you had a gain of about $419,000. Most of that came from your grant section there, $350,000. On page 21, this is your utility fund, your water and garbage and other utilities there. This is the statement net position. Again, it shows what the town owed, and then the net of those two, which is called your net position in this case. Ran the same analytic. Your unrestricted net position is what has no other claims on it. If you spent in the same manner, you had quite a bit of time there, so it was much more than a year for that one. If you go to page 22, this is your utility fund statement of revenues and expenses. Again, this is what you spent and what you earned in the year. Something that I noticed was the operating gain. A lot of times you see in the utility funds there's not an operating gain, so you guys are doing an operating gain. That was good. Then you also had a large grant. So your overall change in that position there was a gain of $600,000, $660,000. You'll go to the next page and you'll see cash actually went down that year, but that was because y'all had a high level of payables in the prior year that you spent this year. So your operations and everything went up, and cash came down a little bit, but that's a timing thing. So go to page 34. One of the things we often like to look at in these reports are your capital assets. Capital assets are going to be which you own some like vehicles or buildings and improvements and what have you. One thing that we like to look at is depreciation. Depreciation it's an imperfect estimate, but it can be useful for telling you about the useful life and the remaining useful life of those assets that you guys have, the buildings and what have you. As far as I can tell here, for the governmental activities in your general fund, those are about 90% used up. So it's maybe something to look at, like looking around, like are there any things that we need to replace for that? For your business activities, they're about 60% used up. So again, it's not a perfect estimate of like what's actually happening, but it can be useful in giving you areas to look at. If you look at page 36, another thing we like to bring up is the long-term liabilities. You guys had an SRF loan that you started paying on in 2024. This is for about $12,500. Other than that, there are really no long-term liabilities there. Go to page 39. This is your budget. Government accounting also requires you for your general fund to show a budget versus actual. And so just looking through that, just stated that in the period under audit, you were under your budgeted expenses by about $200, and you were over your revenues, which made for an overall favorable gain of about $400,000. So that's good. If you go to page 43, okay. Another thing we do during our audits is we assess the internal controls of the town, just your operations and what have you. Sorry, 43. We would take a look at those. It's not for the purpose of stating an opinion on those, but maybe to communicate areas that might need to be shored up. The only finding that we have in relation to that is the standard finding of that we prepared the financial statements, and so that there were no other findings that we had beyond that. And generally for towns, that's we put that finding in there if we prepare the financial statements. That's good. If you go to page 46, risk management letter. This just reinforces the fact that there was only that one finding that we had. And it also states that there were no deteriorating financial conditions in the town for the year. And then page 48, this letter states that we were compliant with our, in our opinion, the town was compliant with all Florida state statutes as they pertain to this town's stewardship of public funds. And so again, we really appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys again this year. If you have any questions, please let me know.
That's good. Good.
All right, thank you guys. Really appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sir. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, number 2, Ms. Connie. Which I've already, I can introduce it if you want.
Okay.
I've talked with Gene about it.
Yeah, Mr. Martin came into the office, and I guess he had a near-death encounter on Stillman Avenue when he was trying to clean up his yard debris with people picking up their kids at the elementary school and flying down Stillman afterwards. And he's requesting that the speed limit along Stillman Avenue be reduced from 35 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour.
And if you ride the town, most of the streets are 20, 25. I mean, so I don't know how that got to 35, but I spoke to Mr. Gene about this, and I just didn't know in Lindsay County, I didn't know if we had the authority to change that.
Well, is it
It's a city street.
city street?
Okay. I told him, I don't know, I have to go back and find out for sure, the lawyer does that.
No, if it was a DOT or a county road or a state road, we
Right.
would have to go to those entities.
Right. So I don't have no problem changing.
I don't have no problem changing it.
Yeah,
They do fly down.
going to the red, yeah, well, they do. I told him that we might even have to go as far as down the road, put some speed bumps in there. Because I don't know if this changing the speed limit's gonna change, you know, so. We could try that, that's what he says, let's try it with that first, and then if it don't, then maybe go in and add speed bumps, you know, so.
Well, that, and we may, once we change it and put this posted speed limit signs up there, we may ask the sheriff's department to put up that, sign that shows how fast you're going, you know, the LED display thing, and maybe that'll help as well, so.
So we just need I guess, a motion to change. So I just need a motion to change the, what is that, that's Stillman?
Stillman Avenue.
From 35 to 20.
I'll make a motion, we change the speed limit on Stillman Avenue from 35 to 20.
Good. All in favor of changing the speed limit on Stillman Avenue from 35 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. All right, number 3, Bill, this is yours. Resignation of Bill Coon, representing Fort White and Columbia County Tourist Development.
Yeah, I've got a different job, but about the time I started another job, there's no way I can get off whatsoever to go.
And he just needs to write a letter on it, Ms. Connie. I don't.
Yeah, and they have asked, and Ms. Terry has volunteered to replace.
You can get too much on that. You're gonna be running everywhere.
I don't have
Well,
to
you
do
can,
it,
no,
but
you can
somebody
try it,
is.
see if you like it, so good, okay, cool. All right, so we're just gonna, you
Nominate.
just public, you made it known, do you need to write a letter or anything?
Yeah. No, I mean.
No?
No, it's in a public meeting.
Okay.
I just nominate Ms. Terry to take his place and approve it.
So we just need to nominate, Ms. Terry in a motion, so someone make a motion to nominate Ms. Terry.
I make a motion to nominate Ms. Terry to the Columbia County Tourist Development Council.
Bill Coon spot.
She'll take Bill Coon's spot.
I'll second it.
I bet he does.
All in favor of Ms. Catherine Terry taking Bill Coon's spot on the Columbia County Tourist Development Council, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, congratulations, Terry. All right, number 4, Ms. Connie.
As you all know, we had a meeting, kind of a kickoff meeting for Main Street. Doug Sanders will be presenting our application to the state on November the 7th. And I don't know how soon after that we will hear, but he is recommending that we go ahead and advertise for the position of the executive director for Main Street. And that is the line item that you all approved in the budget and had agreed to fund part-time position at $24,000 annually. And that is a no benefits position, so the person would receive a 1099 form. So he is recommending that we go ahead and advertise for that position and go forward. So I need approval to be able to advertise.
Motion.
Motion to approve advertisement for Main Street position.
It's the executive director, right?
That is correct.
You got a second?
Second.
Second, all right, so we got a motion and a second, so all in favor of advertising for Main Street program, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, Ms. Connie.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have been in well, first I want to point out.
We're gonna talk about this, I ain't trying to cut you off, Ms. Connie, I'm saying, but I think the board, we're gonna talk about this in the last meeting about the wells, about doing the grant money for the wells. Okay, never mind, go ahead. I know we talked about it after the meeting.
We got the results in from the latest disinfection byproducts testing of the existing wells. And at the ball field, the benchmark is 60 maximum, and we're at 35.37. And the other contaminant was the total trihalomethanes, could be above 80, and we were at 10.55. So that's a huge improvement. The other one was at Thornwood. The first item was a maximum of 60, and we're at 32.54. And the other was a maximum of 80, and we were at 9.46. So there have been some big improvements made on the disinfection byproducts that in the past were one of the reasons why the consent order was issued from DEP. So these test results will be going to DEP because these are the official results. We reported at the meeting we had down at the community center of the test results, but they were not official at that time. These are the official results, and they will be going to DEP. In addition to that, we have been in conversation with Mr. Hall from Hall's Pump and Well out of Lake City, and he has come by and has spent a great deal of time speaking with me, and he has gone down the road here and has drilled a test well for a Ms. Travis who bought Ray Walker's old place, who was the old the previous tax collectors. And he got a water sample from at between 305 and 320 feet, and that water is crystal clear. It is perfect. And he is sure, he feels very sure that if we will allow him to drill our well deeper, that he will find the same quality water. And so he's given us an estimation of approximately $15,000 to do that. We have grant money left of approximately $75,000 that we need to allocate between now and the end of December. So the council, I guess, can decide if they want to go ahead. This would provide us with clean, good water for the town of Fort White without having the issues with the Ellisville water that were brought up at the last meeting.
What's wrong with the second one?
Pardon me?
The second one?
The second well?
Yes. What is the problem?
They're both at a level that's pulling in the brown limestone. He's saying go deeper.
Right, I get that, but we've talked like one well could be fixed, but the other one maybe not.
No, he said that we should do one to see if he gets good water, and if we do the other one too.
I'm all about it.
I am too.
He gonna drill another 100 feet for $15,000?
Yes.
You just add our casing and go down?
Yeah.
Long way to test it. I mean.
He feels very confident.
Long way to test it.
If this fixes the problem, all these years we said it would have worked to fix it under $15,000.
Now, the $15,000 isn't going to be the final deal.
No.
That's going to be to find out
That's a test?
and to test,
And that's
yes.
a test drill?
That's a test
What would it
drill.
cost to drill? Did he give you a price on that?
No, he did not.
I thought that was awful cheap.
Yeah, he said, let's do the test first and see, and then we can go from
I
there.
thought the video that Kevin put up here, we just had to go deeper in the same well.
This is deeper in the same well. This is going
It's a test drill though, it's not,
It's not putting the pipe down,
It's that big.
it's more the torpedo.
He's just gonna test drill
He's
it
gonna,
first.
in my notes, I wrote down, he's gonna sleeve the test hole.
Hold on, Nick.
No, I was just gonna say, isn't that the same presentation basically that Kevin told us 2 months ago?
Well, Kevin said run a meter or torpedo or something.
he
Right.
said go down there and catch the water, down in the water, is what
Yeah.
Kevin said.
This
That
is
is
not actually
right there.
drilling, this is actually gonna be drilling down, so they're
This is
not drilling.
actually drilling further,
Instead of just trying to push it down.
you
Yes.
talking about another 100-something foot.
Because he's saying that
150,
those two
180.
pockets that Kevin showed us in this, remember this? These two pockets, he said, we're already pulling water from there, okay? He said, you've got to go deeper. You've got to go deeper to get the clear water.
We gotta spend the grant money somewhere, so
Yeah.
I have no problem trying to figure out if we got to
You
go
got
for it
no
or
problem
not.
testing it. You got no problem testing
Yeah.
it.
And then we're not, as he gave you the ultimate cost if it is good water, what it's gonna cost to,
Now, I'll get that from him.
okay.
Because it depends on how deep it goes, too. And it depends on what the flow is. There's a lot of variables that go into that.
Well, maybe if it does fix it, maybe our rest of our grant money can pay for it.
Yes, absolutely.
We just need a motion to,
I'll make a move.
15, I guess.
I'll make a motion to pay Hall's Wells the $15,000 for a test.
Second.
I second that motion. Paul's testing our water.
All right, so, motion on the table is approving the halls to do the test, $15,000. All in favor, say aye.
To drill
To drill the test, right, to drill the test, 15,000, so we're gonna spend 15,000, so all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay. All right. At this time, Ms. Connie, yeah, let's go ahead, guys, I do see it out there. I'll go ahead and present the award. There's been, we got, during our storms, everybody knows we had storms here last, it seemed like all summer we had storms and stuff, so, we had several businesses work hard, but there's one particular business that we feel, as a council, did really well, helping with the needy people needing stuff. They kind of stood out a little bit, so at this time, I see Mr. Alex here. I'd like to present a certificate of appreciation from Fort White Collective Food and Garden for their public service, okay? So, over here, hand it to you. And the date is September 16, 2024, okay? Appreciate you, yes, sir. Thank you, yes, sir. Thank you, okay? Oh. Bigger room back here. All right. That's number 7, street parking.
Yes, in your, on the table, I believe is a letter to the town council. And basically, this just talks about the on-street parking. And the second to the last paragraph is what I need you to focus on. And that is, with the town council's authorization, the town attorney and staff will prepare an ordinance to fit the scale and needs of the town, rather than just providing other local government on-street parking regulations. So I'm just asking for your approval to proceed with, we have talked about this at a couple of other meetings, about coming up with an ordinance for on-street parking in the town of Fort White, because obviously there is a need for it.
We just need a motion to proceed forward.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, are we gonna get into the same thing we got into with them passing this ordinance? Because Fort White is so unique on how every business has their parking over time. I mean,
It will
is this gonna
address
fit?
that. It will address that in the ordinance.
Because just like the one we're going through now, it's got 4. I mean, you've got 5 counting, I guess, the handicap.
Yes.
5 parking.
Yes.
The next one might not have the 2.
But they'll have to apply for a variance because the number of parking spaces are dictated by the land development code. And it's our ordinance for the, what are you referring to? It goes business by business. One business, depending upon what it is.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay.
It's business by
It'll come
business.
like
It's business by business.
You guys talked about variance, this is talking about a new code.
I know, but that code sets the precedence for them to bring variances in front of us for every business.
Okay, let me read this, and I think it'll answer some of your questions. The recommendation is broken down into 3 concepts. Current on-street parking to be grandfathered as they are currently provided. All on-street parking will abide by town regulations related to safety requirements and the payment of an annual permit to allow all new on-street parking to be constructed by the property owner. And it is suggested that the downtown district be exempt from all off-street parking, but new on-street parking should conform to number 2 above. This is kind of in keeping with what we had discussed before about doing an insurance policy and a hold harmless agreement for the town, those kinds of things, to allow the on-street parking, instead of just nilly-willy here and there. For on-street parking to remain feasible and safe, the request to address the ability of off-street parking to have cost-effective construction requirements that will provide relief for existing commercial uses within the downtown district and allow infill commercial in areas that would be taken up by private surface lots under the current regulations. On-street parking has been an ongoing concern of the town council, and the town attorney has been working with town staff regarding procedures and permitting for new on-street parking. Staff further recommends that it is only fair to allow existing on-street parking to remain unencumbered as it currently exists, but that all future on-street parking would comply with the new ordinance. So I'm asking for your guidance to proceed with developing an ordinance that will address on-street parking.
So the new ordinance wouldn't have anything to do with people that already have businesses here?
Well, it would grandfather them in,
Right.
yes.
Now, would they have to, just with kind of off topic a little bit, would they have to still have the insurance and the hold harmless letter?
It would be recommended, I would think.
This is something we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
I get that, just asking questions.
It's not up for approval tonight, but we can move forward and figure out which direction.
You need a motion to do that?
So just a motion to move forward with the, I guess.
Development of an ordinance.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the development of an ordinance for the on-street parking.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor of moving forward with the development of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Number 8, Ms. Scott.
This is something that I believe I had addressed the town council before about the recycling that is down there past the gun club off of 47. There are 2 problems. People go in there and they dump all kinds of things back there which don't need to be back there. There are sofas back there, there are tires back there, there are buckets of who knows what back there that could be toxic, and there's all kinds of junk back there. That's one problem. The other problem is that it's very secluded, and we've had a complaint from a citizen, and I believe that Mr. Kuhn was addressing that with you prior to the meeting starting, about it being so secluded. And I had asked before that we either move it or cease to allow the recycling there because of the fact that it costs money for us to go in there and clean that stuff up and take it to the landfill. The sofas, the TVs, the broken glass, et cetera, et cetera. It's dangerous and it's expensive for us to take it to the landfill and haul it all the way up to the Lake City landfill way north of Lake City. It's not serving the purpose of recycling. The people that go there, they aren't even taking the effort anymore to take it back to the pile that's already there. They're just dumping it all right there at the recycle bin. There's broken glass laying everywhere. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Last I seen, there was 2 boxes of some kind of glass jar, a couch, and some other stuff. And it's very secluded. Somebody's gonna get robbed there one day. Somebody's gonna sit back there and wait on somebody to pull in. Something's gonna happen.
I mean, even if we move that though, people still want to go back there and dump.
Well,
Yeah, well, I'm saying you
you
can
can close that spot off if that's the city's. the county's got a spot back there where people have been throwing stuff, or even, they might be picking that stuff up and putting it back there offside the roads. I know when county gets a call in, they send somebody out to pick it up, if it's on this end, they might be just taking it out until they get a pile of it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's the same
I don't
file
know.
that they wrote us up for on code enforcement and expected us to clean it up. And
But
said
there
code
is-
enforcement. in
They
there.
are throwing stuff out there on the recycle, what, that shouldn't be there. So we need to clean that out.
And you didn't say, I mean, do we ever get a count of how much stuff they're picking up as like recycled stuff? Do we know how much they're picking up? Is it like a, I
No.
mean, are they,
There's one side for cardboard and another side, I believe, for glass.
Is that it? I thought,
That's it.
we don't have a more
Visible
lighted,
side.
visible spot here in town somewhere we can put it?
No, we had talked about doing it right up here, but then you got a traffic problem, pulling in and pulling out. We don't want to leave the gates open. It's
Well, it could be like
hard.
hours, and when the guys are here, they can come in and dump stuff off. When
Well, the
aren't
guys,
here, then
but they're
it's
not
closed.
here,
I would,
they're out and
I
about.
would put a camera up still,
Would you?
and it'll be a lot easier to do it here.
Yeah.
If you done it here. I guess we need to look at this and see if there's a spot. But it definitely don't need to be where it's at. I mean, if you go down there and look, you turn in just about this time of day, or just use your imagination when you're turning in.
I mean, I like to get up here where we can keep record of, are people really using it? If they are using it, then I hate to get rid of it, but if they're
Right.
not using it, then it's pointless.
Right.
So,
I don't know how often they're in.
They're not.
I'd have to ask the county.
I go
because
in and out there, I don't see people there all the time, but there are people using it. But how much, we would have to ask whoever collects it.
The Columbia County landfill comes down and empties it.
should we call them and ask them how much stuff they getting out of it, if any? I mean,
We
is
can.
it worth even having?
At one point, they put it up there because they had an individual that requested it and they were taking the cardboard and recycling it themselves.
Right. Is anybody here using it?
I'm not, but I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there even a recycling program in Columbia County?
Yes.
No, there's not.
I didn't think there
What
was.
are they doing with it?
Yeah, what are they doing with it?
That's my question.
No.
They bring it all to the
There is no formal recycling, it's all volunteer. You go to these bins
So
and
what
dump
do they
your
do with it?
stuff.
They take it to the landfill? To the landfill?
Yeah, goes to the landfill.
Well, that's crazy.
Like I said before, when they requested that it be put up here, they had an individual.
I don't believe that.
They had an individual that was coming and collecting the cardboard.
Is it?
Pardon?
I can,
What, not have?
Not-
Yes, sir.
the subject of recycling has been brought up for at least the last decade and a half. And they stopped recycling when they closed the localized areas where you would bring stuff. Before they had countywide pickup. And the county's reasoning for not doing recycling is because they're not making money on it, like anybody does, but they're not making money on it, they refuse to do it.
Right.
So there is no recycling. They had it for a little while, way back, in maybe 2010, around there.
The bins used to be right out here, right
And
where
then,
the Jeep is.
and
I remember that.
then they stopped. And they refused to reconsider it. Maybe one of the only places left.
Yeah, I mean, why would they have it if they're not, I mean, that's crazy.
Like I
I've
said
always
before,
said, if, to stop
there was
this,
an individual that was collecting the cardboard and going and taking it.
well, I'm probably gonna tell my age here, but when I grew up, the Coke bottles, you could turn into the store and get 10 cents for them, 5 cents or whatever. And I've always said that, I said, that's what they need to do in America, is they need to put on everything a cash value, if people stop throwing it in the rivers and stop throwing it outside the road.
Some things have it for.
They need to do it.
Up north, they do that. Up north, they do that.
What do we need to do?
Well, first off, I think you need to decide if you even want to continue to do it, number one. Number two, if you do, find a different place to move to.
I don't know if anybody uses it. If we find someone that really, as soon as we close it, you're gonna start getting some phone calls.
Let's see.
Close it down.
But,
Y'all okay with that?
you want to go down there and lock it up, because they're
Yeah.
going there and dump.
Then we'll start- I guarantee they'll start dumping it right at the gate.
Well,
Unless Columbia County puts that fence up to keep them from going back.
when you turn in there, Columbia County straight back, ours is to the left. We got little gates there.
Yeah,
So
They gonna run around every game.
Well, let's see.
And then you gonna start getting phone calls from Plum County, that you got a mess at the game. Well, I guarantee you.
Well, take the tractor, run there, pick it up, throw it in their pile down there. They got a pile down there where they keep the dirt.
That's what we got served with a notice that they were throwing stuff in their pile.
Fill up the dump truck and drop it off the
Plum County needs longer gate.
They
Well, that's what we ain't got no gate, I don't think.
They do.
They got 2 roads that goes back in there.
They got one.
No, they got 2 now. Go back down there. I'm telling you, they got 2 roads. One, that main grade road, but when you leave the drop off, go back, there's a road that goes back there to that.
Back road?
Yes.
They blocked that
Have you
off.
seen it?
All that property is owned by the town,
I know.
regardless if the county uses it or not. It's all owned by the town, so ultimately we're liable. If something happens, we're liable.
Well, let's tell Bustin' lock, yo, we need to make a motion to lock the recycling bin down. See if you
He's gonna lock it and see what happens.
Yeah.
How long we have to do it and then lock it and see what happens. Get a motion to lock it bin.
Maybe you share notice, and you're gonna like do it in 2 weeks, so people know that you're gonna lock them, and you're just gonna lock them tomorrow.
Yeah, we might need to send a notice out. Can we do that?
Send it out where? How?
Oh, yeah,
We can
sure.
put it on the website.
We put a sign down there.
Put it on Facebook. Put it on Facebook.
Let's ask Facebook, let's ask Facebook who uses it.
I don't use Facebook.
Put it on Facebook, I mean, huh?
Put a sign up down there, closing so-and-so date. And get county picked up, or county or the dump.
We could put a sign down there and give them like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, you
Three
want
weeks.
it.
Let's take a sign up, put down there, say, the site will be closing in 3 weeks. They're gonna tear the sign down, so they won't have it for a week.
You want to close at the end of October?
You okay with that?
November 1st, close.
Yeah, November 1st.
I'm telling you now, it ain't gonna stay closed, they're gonna cut them off, they're still gonna come crap back.
We need a motion to close it November 1st, guys. Let's go.
I know deer walk down there.
No, I think that's a go.
Oh, my God. We need a motion of it.
I want to make a motion to close the recycle center November 1st, 2024.
I need a second. Good. Second, good. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, we're through.
That's where they find out how many people own it.
Citizen comments.
Yep, citizen comments, I have 2. Maureen Thomas.
I got a couple.
Alright, I'm Maureen Thomas. I wanted to start by just thanking the Lord for this opportunity to be here and to address you all this evening, especially after the earlier meeting. I wanted to, secondly, just express my disappointment. The first meeting was the planning and zoning meeting, and there was only public comments on that meeting. It is my understanding that a public comment, a public participation, that is reserved for items on the agenda. So I was very disappointed that seemingly items were taken out of turn. This is the time for citizen comment. This is the time to make announcements, such as who we support in the election. So I'm disappointed, by the fact that that was allowed to take place at that time, out of order. So moving forward, I want to say that I am speaking on behalf of myself only. I don't represent my husband, I don't represent, anybody except for myself. So, I wanted to clarify, at the meeting that my husband held to address the public, he stated that people will naturally move here. He did not state that he's going to encourage people to move here. That is not his goal, his anticipation, is that people would naturally come as they have. And hopefully, when they do, we'll have the infrastructure to support it. Because there are properties for sale. Even now in the town, there are properties for sale, and no one is stopping those people from moving here because they want to come to where it is small so that they can raise their small families. That's why we came here. We have a small family. We are raising our family here in a small town. As far as his unwillingness to state his political affiliation, it's appropriate that he would be unwilling in a nonpartisan race to state a public affiliation. However, when asked directly, he is more than willing to discuss his political views. He is open to people reaching out to him personally to discussing things online is not effective. There have been plenty of rumors and falsehood, slander that's being spread online that's just inaccurate. And so it's not appropriate for him to engage in conversations like that. Now, as far as being taken advantage of, I can assure you that my husband is the furthest from a patsy, as he has so been called online. Even I, as his wife, cannot turn his head from one way to the other. He is very steadfast and sure in his beliefs and what he thinks is right. So I wanted to end with, ultimately, both my husband and I believe that the Lord's will be done. One can devise many plans in one's mind, but the Lord's will prevail. And that's Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly Bishop.
As y'all know, trunk or treat is next Friday from 6 to 9. I didn't get that last meeting was a lot, so I didn't even try to get in front of you guys and speak about this. I know the years previous, you guys had made a donation as the town towards the trunk or treat, and I didn't know if that was something you guys would be willing to do again this year. We usually have about an average number, 3,500 people there. That includes the kids, the adults, the trunks, the people there helping. I believe TDC came last year and they said probably closer to 5,000 was what we could guesstimate was there. But we provide everything. It's a 100% free event. We provide the hot dogs, the drinks, the candy that's given out at the trunk or treat bounce houses. You know, y'all, I think you've all been there. It's a lot. And I'm one person. I raise all of the money by myself every single year. You guys have always been one of my bigger donations towards the event to help make sure that it keeps going every year, and I didn't know if that was something you guys would be willing to help with again this year.
Do you know what the donation amount was last year?
Last year was $750. It was $750 the year before also.
And I think you just said it, but if I pull in there and open my trunk, you're gonna give me?
Yes, ma'am. I give you the candy. We offer volunteer hours to the high school students that are trying to get Bright Future Scholarship. And what we offer them is we give them double community service hours. So that they come and work for me for those 3 hours, we give them 6 hours for that. And we have those guys load up trays of hot dogs and walk around to all the people like you that are there giving out candy to make sure they don't miss out on getting a meal or a drink while they're there. So,
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
Did the TDC or the county contribute this year?
I did not ask them. TDC, I did talk with the TDC director, and I can't remember, it was a lady when I talked to her, and now she's gone, and I can't remember her name. They don't really donate to things like that. They donate more towards bigger events that bring people to stay in hotels and spend restaurant money and all that. I just get people to come and get free stuff. So I don't really qualify to get any kind of TDC money. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Guys, before you make a decision, keep in mind, we just went over our financial statements. And last year, we lost $14,800 something, if you remember the last meeting. So that was a negative. If you know how to read a P&L. Last year, and I write, is that the number 14,000? No, on mine it's 131,000, excuse me.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 14. But we lost, as a town, $131,000 last year.
Do y'all make a profit and then that's awarded somewhere, or is it a washout?
So if we're being honest, it usually ends up costing me money out of my pocket before the night is over with. We ran out of candy one year and I went to the Dollar General and they had buy two, get one free bag of candy, and I think I spent $600 at the dollar store out of my own pocket.
Do the other businesses in town donate?
Some of them, yes, some of them no.
What about the bigger ones, Dollar General, Family Dollar?
Family Dollar,
I can tell you that.
Family Dollar has a ban, that's all.
Family Dollar is So Family Dollar's rule is they're not allowed to ask, whereas Dollar General will ask, do you want to buy candy to donate to the trunk or treat? And they collect candy
No,
that
I
way.
mean from their corporate headquarters. They don't give you
No.
any money from their corporate headquarters.
No.
No, Dollar General, Family Dollar does not.
And the amount of money they get out of this town?
Subway donates, Hungry Howie's donates, the smoke shop, the barber shop. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss.
Well, I don't mind telling you, last year we got a lot of pushback after we donated because of the advertising that was not done. And it was, the flyers all said A&B Construction on it. It did not reference any of the donations that were done by anybody in the town here. And it was all
I
done.
didn't come to the trunk or treat and listen to the announcement where we announced every single business.
Well,
that
I'm
donated
just
to it,
telling
including
you,
the town
I'm
of
just
Fort
telling you, on the written flyers that were given out, it
Well,
said
the flyer this
A&B
year does not
Construction.
say A&B Construction. And that was because A&B was the biggest sponsor last year. This year, it just says Fort White Trunk or Treat.
Well, I would recommend if you're gonna do that, that you do like they do at other places and have gold, silver, bronze sponsors and list under there the people that have sponsored and how much they've given.
I have a list at my trunk or treat that I post for everybody to see if they have yard signs that donate. Barnes Plumbing came and set up yard signs. I had a mobile home skirting and step company out of Trenton brought a huge like 4x8 sign that they brought out there and put up. So we do announce that.
But if you
that
put it
people-
on that flyer, I promise you, it'll be almost
But I
like
can't
that.
put it on the flyer
But
prior to
you
trunk
can
or treat when I don't know
offer,
who's
but
donating.
you can offer gold, silver, bronze sponsorships and assign a dollar value to those. And lots of times, companies will go ahead and do that.
But
and
would that
they'll
help
have-
you getting pushback from people in town saying that I didn't
Yeah.
acknowledge?
Yeah, because you'll be putting it out after the fact. You can put it, we can put it out on Facebook,
And I do that.
on our site, we can put it on
I
there.
put it on my Facebook.
Well, we can put it on the town's website.
Okay.
As to who all the sponsors were.
So, do you, am I recognized?
Yes, sir.
Do you get, from Trenton, do you get people from outside of Columbia County?
Yes, sir, I do.
So that has nothing to do with how many people are in beds. Tourist
Yeah.
development is to bring people here from outside the county.
Yep. I have High Springs,
So you need to ask
Gilchrist
them
County.
again.
Yeah. I need to get with the guy that was doing it.
Good.
But yeah, as far as acknowledging who all has donated to the trunk or treat, we do it every year. We acknowledge, we put a Facebook post out, we announce it at the trunk or treat multiple times, we put advertisement signs out so everybody that knows.
I'm not saying I agree with it, I'm just telling you we got pushback.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
Tell them to come out next year. The year
This is
everybody-
the biggest thing on this end of the county that happens in the year.
But it come, people,
By far, the biggest thing.
but people come from all
And it's
over.
in the south end of the county, in Fort White.
But they come from all
I don't care
over.
where they come from. It's the biggest thing. It started with just Fort White.
Listen,
But if you give stuff away, they're gonna come from everywhere and get it.
Listen,
Okay?
if they come here from outside of the county, that's tourist development, and she needs to go to tourist development and make the case. If it's
Do you
only-
feel like I shouldn't come to town council and ask my
I
town
feel you
council for my
should,
city?
but you
Okay.
don't want to leave out the
Okay.
tourist development council.
And that's what, I had spoke to the lady that was over it last year.
Kind Packy, she's gone.
Okay, so she's the one that actually sent the people out last year for them to do somewhat of a head count. It's like herding cats at that point, when trunk or treat starts, they did the best that they could as far as trying to get a
You have
head count.
thousands, right, and thousands of hot dogs and all that.
Yeah.
Obviously, are we gonna do whatever?
Well, like I said, the only thing I simply said was, is keep in mind, the town of Fort White showed $131,000 loss. We gotta make a decision. Okay? Now, if it was my checkbook, I know what I'd say, but there again, I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. To y'all.
I want to say a couple of things. And he already hit on it, that this is huge. And you're all over Facebook, exceptional, an exceptional job, as well as our friend with the hurt hand,
Yes, ma'am.
or whatever the need is at that moment. So I'm all for you. Having said that, now darts are going to be thrown at me. I'd like to see some kind of guidelines of who and how much we allocate for donations. Because I've sat through a couple of meetings where money was handed out and a couple of meetings where money was not handed out. And there doesn't seem to be a structure. You know, there needs to be maybe a donation fund.
We do have a donation
Okay.
line item in our budget.
And what's available in that now? Is there, okay.
Well,
If
because,
it's zero, that answers the
well,
question, that's not.
because of last year, there was some stuff in there last year, but then we budgeted none for this year, because we've got other things working. And we were expecting, you know, we took into consideration, which we took ad valorem tax off the menu.
I'm
We
not
took- we
saying
took a
any
lot
of it
different things. So
argumentative.
That's why I've been explaining, I've been trying to tell the council now for months that we don't have a lot of revenue in the town of Fort White.
If it's
And that's when
zero,
things like this come up, things that the town should be, I think, you know, the town of Fort White should be backing football programs, band programs, all kinds of stuff for our school system. We don't have the money to do it. So all that being said, I mean, when it comes to things like this, it backs us in a corner, we don't have the money to give it.
and
So-
unrelated, this is just my personal opinion, I think Main Street will help in that.
Oh, it will, yeah, most definitely. Main Street's gonna help. With the other thing, the CRA program that we're working on, that's gonna help. So that's gonna loosen up a lot of ends for us. But right now, we just, I mean, you've seen that, I'm not making it up, it was on the financial statement, the P&L that we presented last meeting, so yeah, everybody's seen it, so, I'll leave that there.
Now, I recommend we give a minimum of $500 to them. That's what I recommend, that's my recommendation.
I gotta second that. I like what it does to this town.
I do too, I agree 100%. I like the concept, because it brings in a lot of people.
I mean, we need to figure out how to do that,
We need to do that another night. because
obviously.
But we do need to do that.
I agree 100%. They come up with some kind of
Like I said,
budget and stick to it, but they do a great job.
I'm not.
This grew from this little old park we had over here, the first year, I think the fire department
It
put it on
started
the first
out,
year.
it
And
no,
they
it
started
was
out-
the parking lot of the fire department. It was 6 golf carts
I remember
decorated
that actually.
Yeah,
in the fire department.
that's where it started from, now it's 3,500, 4,000 people.
well, now, David and them did it the first year up there at Columbia County Park.
Yeah,
Where they do it, David Dickel did,
Yeah.
he started it up there.
he's the one that started it at the fire department with the golf
No, he
carts.
started up.
No, he started at the fire
He started
department.
at the fire
No,
department.
he started at the fire department,
Yeah,
and he
then he
moved it
moved
for
to
the
Deep
last
Park.
year he did it, was at the park up there.
But the last
Well,
year.
they've been there the rest of the years, it's double.
Right, I mean, at the high school.
Yeah, it was at the high school parking lot.
I did this actual parking lot, I was at $1,000.
It was crazy.
Now it's 2,000 or better.
Bill's been there wrapping hot dogs. Miss Mary, I think you came and wrapped hot dogs last
Who's
year.
cooking the hot dogs?
We cook the hot dogs. We do everything.
Are kids cooking them? I'm just being
No,
curious.
no.
No,
Kids are not
they're
cooked
not.
on
High
either.
school kids.
Can I say something?
Check out what's going on.
Can I say something?
Yes.
We have $224 that we collected from the last yard sale, that we have in the coffers, that is not earmarked for anything. We have another yard sale coming up November 2nd. I don't know what we will make off of that, but we will make a little bit of money off of that because we're not having to pay for the porta potties this year. The Gardening for Change group is paying for the porta potties.
Right.
So if it's all right, I would make the recommendation that we donate what we got off the last yard sale and donate what we get off of this yard sale. I don't know what that's gonna be because sign up will be until November the 2nd. So,
Midnight.
no, November 1st midnight.
I don't think we'll meet the deadline.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
We can
Friday.
donate the money we have right now already that we collected from the last yard sale, and then we can donate whatever we collect for this yard sale to offset any of the costs that you may have that are out of pocket, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And
After the fact.
yes, and if it's anything, and if it's the same as the previous yard sale, we'd have right at the $500.
Yeah.
Would that work?
I need a motion.
2 payments?
Well, the one for November 1st would have to go towards next year,
Simple talk.
because I'm having it Friday.
Right.
Next Friday.
I need a motion, guys.
I'll make a motion to donate $500 to the trick or treat, to the trunk or treat. There's your motion.
Second.
So all in favor of donating 500 to the trick or treat, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, good. So,
Thank you guys very much. And I hope to see you there. And you came last year, didn't you?
I did, I come every year.
Okay.
All right,
Y'all finish up?
I need adjournment, guys.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I did it first. Aye. Aye. Say aye.